beautiful, intelligent, driven, thoughtful. When I'm with you, you just make me feel warm. I just want to be with you. I just want to spend time with you.
My God, am I the only person who was excited for Bliss? I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about Zack, but I personally like Zack. Given the way he behaved in the pods, I know I will go into detail. I don't want to digress at the moment. But anyway, hey there, it's Valerie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 4, Episode 7. Um, so the episode starts with Chelsea introducing Kwame to her dad. And for me, I was really pleasantly surprised. Her dad really warmed to Kwame. I don't know whether they met prior to today, and I don't know whether her dad was very anxious about being filmed, and this is why they were worried, because he seemed very easygoing and very relaxed with it. Kwame himself was at ease. He was enjoying his meal and all. And so I really liked that meetup for them. I was a bit disheartened though when Kwame sort of tried to get in touch with his mom and how it seems she is not receptive of the idea of him getting married. I think Kwame had this conversation with his mom off camera and then came and told the producers what his mom had said. And then they sort of reenacted it because there was no sound on the phone. It was just Kwame himself speaking. And knowing African moms, they would have gone into their mother tongue, whatever it is, and sort of given him an earful. So I don't know whether that's the reason why it wasn't played out, or whether she refused to come on camera or be sort of have her voice be played out on camera, or whether Kwame just asked them that no, I'd rather this not be said. Because Chelsea, you could tell, was very heartbroken because I think she was very keen to meet Kwame's mom. They do understand, I've always said this, that they're an interracial couple. There's going to be challenges to them getting married, and all their family members might not be on board with it. Even Chelsea herself said, she was happy that her father had accepted Kwame, but she was worried about the rest of the family. They went to Kwame's apartment. I thought it was cute. That it was very untidy. It reminded me of Jeffy. If you watch Married at First Sight, you'll know who I'm talking about. It was a bachelor pad, and surprisingly, he couldn't even be bothered to tidy up. I don't know why he didn't pay a cleaner to just come and sort of tidy up and whatever. They did sit down, have a conversation about their life and how their sort of their plans to merge their life. Although Kwame was saying, because he lives 2 hours away, he in Portland, and he was saying, Portland is his home. That's where he plays football, and so he doesn't know if he'll be able to leave that. And I know some people are saying, oh, it's just football. He can drive down, he can cut down. But this has been a part of his life. He's had to reinvent himself, but football was a part of his life and a big part of his life. So I understand why he's hesitant to leave that part of his life. Um, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out for them. I hope they get married, and I hope Kwame is able to redeem himself because time in Mexico with Micah, I don't know how her dad is going to take that. And then Micah Paul met up with Paul's mom, and that was a pleasant surprise. Apparently, they have more in common. Micah was saying, "Oh, she was surprised that Paul liked her, and maybe it's because she looks more like Paul's mom. They have a lot more things in common." Paul's mom says she investigated Micah, and I don't know how she's going to feel when she sees Micah in Mexico and or when she sees how Micah behaved in the pods. Micah was a bit taken aback when she heard that the mom investigated her because the mom was saying, Paul is the baby of the family, so she needs to make sure everything is okay. And this, I think, is where the problem is because they are two totally different people. Because when they went to visit Paul's place, I know, yeah, they're two different people, but what I mean is their likes don't seem to align because and how they live their life. And Paul in his house has got a sofa that he bought on one of these online sale things, and he's also got a sofa that he picked up off the street. Everything is just a mess. And Micah herself was saying, "Oh, I'll have to become his stylist. I'll have to do a lot of work to get rid of all of this stuff and bring in new stuff because he doesn't have any sense of fashion or any sense of style." And they were talking about moving apartments. And for me, I don't know whether it's because Micah wants a project or what exactly she likes about Paul. I'm still trying to understand that relationship. I'm still trying to find out exactly what is it about the two of them that makes them tick. I don't know whether it's because Paul was able to put his foot down and sort of say to her, pick me and leave Kwame, or what. I don't get that relationship. And then Tiffany. Oh, I love Tiffany and Brett. Tiffany and Brett went to Brett's place because Tiffany apparently shares a flat with someone. So, everything in Brett's house was completely different to Kwame's place in the sense that everything was neatly packed away, it was spotless, it was tidy, and everything had its own space. And even Tiffany was teasing him that, oh my God, you like high end products, everything in here is very expensive and whatever. And he was saying, no, it's just, I like what I like. And so that's what I go for. He has shoes and shoes for days, reminded me of Jared, but everything was neatly packed. And so it looked very clean and very spotless. It was a gentleman's pad, but I don't know whether he's got a cleaner that comes in and cleans for him or whatever. But I like the fact that Tiffany was already looking at the place and thinking of where she would sort of fit into his life. And he did say, if she wasn't comfortable there, they could look for something bigger. And I think this is the difference in couples in the sense that they are already looking at a future past the experiment. They are looking at how they're going to merge their lives, and sort of, you know, be able to sort of coexist as a couple. I like the fact that once they went back to their apartment that they're sharing, Tiffany was talking about the fact that she is someone who doesn't like to spend unless she needs to spend. And it seems Brett is totally opposite because he likes expensive things, he likes the finer things. And so she was saying, I don't know how we're going to merge that in the sense that I like living on a budget, and it seems Brett doesn't doesn't deal with budgets. And she was sort of asking him, what's the most expensive thing you own? And he said, his carry-on is about 1200 or something like that. And she was, for what? And it's I like their chemistry. I like their banter. I like how you can see that they're looking past the experiment, how they're planning their lives, and how their goal seems to be to merge their life. That I really liked. Um, and so we'll see. We'll see. I already say in my eyes, I think they are the couple of the season. I said this before, and I'll say it again. And then Brett and Bliss. Okay, here we go. Brett and Bliss, in my opinion. Okay, I'll leave them for last. I'll talk about Jackie and Marshall. Jackie and Marshall for me. I think Jackie has got a lot of issues that she needs to address. I think I don't know whether she suffers from anxiety or whatever. Something is there that needs sort of work on. And I think this is why I said in my review last season that I think they need an expert on hand, like they have on Married at First Sight, someone to just help sort of guide them and support them when they're facing challenges. Because they had this conversation whereby sort of Jackie was worried about the fact that her family doesn't seem to be on board with them getting married, and so she's worried about that, how that will end up, and how they will cope with that. And she was sort of anxious. And I like Marshall because Marshall is very understanding. So Marshall was able to sort of try and take a step back. He was asking her, because they were expecting his sister and her husband, and he was like, "Do you want me to take them for a walk around the block while you sort of settle down? Do you want me to?" It was so sweet. It was so sweet. I think Marshall is a catch. I think Marshall is a catch. And I'm surprised that Jack is the only person who sort of caught his attention. I think there were way more girls in the process that I wish he had given time to somebody else, because I don't know how he sort of settled on Jackie, because Jackie needs a lot of work. Jackie needs to go to therapy. After therapy, she needs to go to couples counseling with whoever she's going to sort of form a relationship with. So I don't know how that will work out long term, because even when Marshall's sister was asking her, because she asked both of them, Marshall, what made you fall in love with Jackie? And Marshall was able to say something coherent. But when she asked Jackie, I didn't quite get what Jackie said. I didn't quite get what Jackie said. I'm sorry. I didn't, because she was sort of, oh, he just, I didn't get it. I think there's more to Jackie. I don't think Jackie. needs to get married at the moment. I think she has a lot of work. She's got a lot of family issues that she needs to address. She's got a lot of personal issues from previous relationships that she needs to address before she can say yes to anyone. And then I'll come back to my friend Bliss and Zach. Bliss and Zach. If I were to rank the couples of who I think is the best, I think Brett and Tiffany are a given. They're number one. Bliss and Zach, I give them number two. Irregardless of the Irana issue, I think the Irana issue was producer driven. I give Bliss and and Zach number two, and then I give Chelsea and Kwame number three, because Chelsea and Kwame, when they work very well. Because when they're on their own without outside interference, they're an amazing couple. It's the minute that people like Micah come in and all that, that's when the chaos starts. But when they're on their own, they're just smitten and in their own little world. Then I put Jackie and Marshall number four, and last but not least is Micah and Paul. I don't see them getting married. Anyway, back to Bliss and Zach. Bliss and Zach, I think, have been dating since he came back. If not, I think the producers are the ones that made Zach. I think the producers are the ones that made Zack propose to Irana, because when he was in the pods and he was describing both girls, he spoke very highly of Bliss. And then when he left Mexico, he was saying, oh, Bliss deserves somebody who chooses her first. Bliss deserves. And then suddenly he went on the date with Bliss. I think after that date, he kept seeing Bliss until we got the scene where she came to his place, and because she seemed very relaxed in his place. She was helping him prepare the meal and stuff. And their chemistry is amazing. I like them together. Their chemistry is amazing. And so I wasn't surprised when he took her on the boat trip, on the date, and he proposed to her. Oh, well, we didn't see the end of it. I can foresee her saying yes. I think there's more to the Bliss and Zach story than we're being told. I have a feeling that Zach and Bliss, maybe Irana was brought in because the producers wanted Irana to be a part of this show, and no one else was going to propose to Irana. So they decided to sort of get Zach to propose to Irana and promise that they would only film them in Mexico, and then after that, they would allow him to go back to Bliss, because Zack and Bliss, I don't get it. I personally don't get how Zack would have picked Irana, given the fact that he said, "Oh, she likes to create tension and this, that, and the other." His body language, the way he is with Bliss, is totally different. He's a new man. I don't get this, and I don't understand why. If the producers are the ones that were behind the Irana sort of issue, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they did that, because the last time they tried the love triangle, it didn't end well for the couples that were involved in that love triangle. So I don't get how Zach went from saying, "Oh, I want Irana, Irana," until suddenly he's so smitten by Bliss. You can see he's excited. He's dancing with her in his place. He's taking her on the cruise. Everywhere he is, he can't move away from her. He's constantly holding her. He's kissing her and stuff. Things he didn't do with Irana. So, which makes me question, why then, if his feelings weren't the same, did he propose to someone he really didn't feel that great about? I think it was producer driven. I think it was producer driven. Anyway, I digress. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.